Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we're going to solve Feb March 2025, Variant 2, Paper 2. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First question says the relationships of four species of bacteria called P, Q, R, and S, were compared. Species P and Q have a more recent common ancestor than either species has with species R. Species S developed recently from species P. Which species has the least? I have to underline the command and the keywords in my question. The least similar base sequence in their DNA compared to the other three species of bacteria. First of all, you have to remember a rule. What does it say? Recent ancestor they have, the more DNA sequence they share. What does it mean? Let me give you an example. For example, we have someone whose name is Ahmad, is married to a woman. Her name is May. They married together and they gave us three children: one, two, and three. A, B, C. B is married to another woman and they gave us also three children, like this. And C also married and he gave two children. And let's give them some numbers. This is G, H, F, and let's say that this one is D, X. If I'm telling you which one are having the most similar DNA sequence from these, for example, compared with G, you can tell me H, you can tell me F, because all of them came from a recent ancestor, which is what? B. If I'm comparing D, you can tell me who's the most similar DNA sequence with it. You can tell me X. Why? Because they share common ancestor C. What about A and B? You can tell me what? The first parent in the original. Do you get the idea? If I'm telling you G and X, are they sharing common ancestor? You'll tell me yes. Which is which one? This one, the first one in the beginning. You get the idea? That's it. So the most recent common ancestor they have, the more DNA sequence they must share. So let's get back to our question. Our question says what? Look and read it with me. We have three species, four, P, Q, and R and S. Species P and Q have a more recent common ancestor. So if we're going to do the same cladogram, this is called cladogram. So P and Q, they are sharing more common ancestor than who? Than R. So here comes R. Species S developed recently from species B. So let's say that this is S. So this is how it works. You get it? So which species has the least similar DNA sequence in their DNA compared to the other three, which will be what? Which one is the farthest away? It's R. Do you get it? So my answer is C. Next question. The diagram shows an arthropod. Arthropod, my key feature to identify any arthropod is the number of legs. Very important. From the first part, I can see that this is a scorpion. This is a scorpion. A scorpion is a arachnid. Okay, but let's go into more details here. How many legs does it have? 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have here 4 legs, and this is called pedipalp. It's like a leg for sensation, or for capturing prey, or for handling things. You can say this. So we do not count it because he didn't label it like this. Other crustaceans take care from this, like lobster and so on. Some modified legs may be counted, must be counted in your answer. So 2A. Next, number 3. Which structures are found both in plant and bacterial cell? Let's make a Venn diagram like this. What both of them share? They share cell wall, they share cell membrane, they share what else? What do you think? Ribosomes are shared, DNA, genetic material, is shared. Type for a plant cell. Nucleus is shared, not nucleus, not chloroplast. You get the idea? Not vacuole. So, plasmid, you can place plasmid here in the bacteria part. So, which structure are found in both? So, he's looking for what? He's looking for this area. Let's go for it. Cell membrane, cell wall, plasmid. No, plasmid is only here. Cell membrane, no. So A and B are wrong. Let's go for C. What do you think? Cell membrane, cell wall, no. It's shared. So my answer is D. Cell membrane is shared, cell wall is shared, plasmid is shared. I'm sorry, plasmid is not shared, and ribosome is shared. So my answer is D. 4. Cell is 65 micrometer across. What is the measurement in millimeter? How to convert from micro to milli? Over by 1000. Answer comes as C. Take care from the unit. Question 5. The diagram shows 4 mesophyll cells. Cell W, cell X, and cell Z. Y and Z. Which arrow shows the direction of movement of water through these cells? So, he's talking about movement of water. Once it comes to my mind, I remember what? Osmosis. Okay? Osmosis is the movement of water from where to where? From high water potential to low water potential through a partially permeable membrane. Very important to remember this all the time. Mister, this is the first time to see negative. What is the negative representing for? There is a rule. The more negative, the less water potential. This is how you're going to solve this question. So let's go for the assumptions that he is giving. The first assumption says what? That W is negative 600, X is negative 450, Y is negative 350, and Z is negative 250. Which one is the more negative, the most negative? It's W. So this is the least water potential. Then this, then X, then Y, then Z. This is the most water potential, but this is high water potential, right? So the water movement will be like this. From Z to Y, from Y to X, from X to W. So go for the first option. A, the direction of movement is different, so A does not count. You get it? طيب, let's go for option P. Option B, what does it say? W is negative 350. X is negative 400. Y is negative 450. And Z equals to negative 600. Let's remember the rule. The more negative, the less water potential. So where is the least? Which one is the least? Which one? Yalla, think. Excellent. This is the least, Z, least water potential. Then Y, then X, then W. So W is highest water potential. So the water will move from which cell to which cell? From W to X, from X to Y, from Y to Z. What do you think? Is it correct? Who can tell me? Perfect. It will be B. This is from negative 350 to 400, 450 to 600. So my answer is B. So remember this rule. You can say the opposite. The less negative, the high water potential. It also will help you. Number 6. Three processes are listed. Molecules or ions are moved across membranes. Molecules or ions are moved by protein carrier. Whenever I see protein carrier, remember active transport. Ions are taken by root hair cells. Whenever I see root hair cells and ions, I remember also active transport. Which processes can involve active transport? What do you think? We said 2 and 3 for sure, without thinking. So any answer without 2 and 3, it's wrong. So B is wrong, C is wrong. So it may be D or A. So we have to get back to number 1 again. This is how you solve in the exam. This is you have to be analytical thinker. Molecules or ions are moved across the membranes. Yes, they move across the membrane. So my answer is A. Question 7. A section of a chromosome contains 4,500 bases. There are 1,450 G. How many are A? You have to remember this rule. A equals to T and G equals to C in number. So if we have total of 4,500, 140, 1,450 is G. So how many is C? 1,450, right? So the total is what? 1,450 plus 1,450 equals to 2,900 minus the 4,500. So how much is left? 1,600. So 1,600 is for both A and T. So you divide this number by 2 to get the percentage of A and T. So each one is what? 800. So the question says how many A bases are there? So it's 800. Do you get it? This is how you solve it. Sometimes it comes in percentage. Take care. Question 8. Which chemical element is found in proteins but not in carbohydrates? Carbohydrates CHO, fats CHO, proteins CHON. Which is found there? CHO, HO, which is found in nitrogen, so 8. C. 9. Which statement describes enzymes? Enzymes, are they carbohydrates? Wrong, they are proteins. Involved in metabolic reactions? Yes. Enzymes decrease the rate? No, they increase. Enzymes have the same shape? Wrong, they have complementary shape. Number 10. The graph shows how the rate of photosynthesis and the rate of respiration in a plant changed over 24-hour period. Which graph shows the correct rate of photosynthesis and rate of respiration? What do you think? For a 24 hours, for a plant is making photosynthesis. So any graph that shows photosynthesis the same during the time of the hour of the day from 0 to 24 hours. So here I have 24 hours. So in the presence of light, photosynthesis will increase. In the absence of light, photosynthesis will decrease. But respiration, does respiration depend on light? Has any relation with light? No. So nearly it will have a steady flow. So here it says for B, respiration increase and decrease. So B is wrong. For C, it says what? Respiration is increasing and decreasing. Also, it's wrong. For D, it says also respiration is increasing and decreasing. Which one shows that respiration is steady, has no relation with night or daytime? A. So my answer is A. Next. The photomicrograph shows a part of a lower surface of a leaf. Take care, stomatas are found on the lower surface of a leaf, except for hydrophytes found where on the upper part of the leaf. Which structure is labeled X? Excellent. It's what? Guard cells. A student is told that their diet is not balanced and they may be at risk of developing scurvy. What should do students to reduce their risk of scurvy? Scurvy is caused by lack of vitamin C. Very good. So the student should eat more citrus fruit which provide more vitamin C. 12D. Diagram shows the four types of human tooth: incisor and canine, cut and tear, premolars and molar, crush and grinding. So what's the answer? It's D. Which teeth are used for grinding? 14. Which substance causes the change in pH when food enters the small intestine? Which one controls or acts as a buffer in our body? Which one? Bile. Provides optimum pH for enzymes in the small intestine to work exactly inside the duodenum. 15. Which conditions causes the highest rate of transpiration? As you remember, humidity is inversely proportional with transpiration, while wind speed and temperature is directly proportional. So, what do you think will increase it? Number A, high temperature, high wind speed, and high humidity. Wrong. High temperature, high wind speed, and low humidity. Right. So 15 is B. Diagram shows a hard defect that some babies are born with. It's called septal defect, where the septum is not completed. So oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will mix together, giving low oxygen level inside the body. Which statement explains why this hard defect may cause the baby to have poor growth? What do you think? Number one, blood flows to the lungs at high pressure, increasing the rate of gas exchange. Not high pressure, it loses its pressure because of the defect. Number B, blood flows to the lungs at low pressure, decreasing the rate of gas exchange. Let's consider this. C, mixing of the blood result in less oxygen available for respiration. So this is my answer. 17. The diagram shows the effect of vaccination on the human body. Three components in the diagram are represented by numbers. Number one, when it comes, there is an immune response. The immune response may give me 2 and 3. 2 can provide passive immunity to others. 3 provides long-term immunity, which whenever I see long-term immunity, this is active immunity, and what provides long-term immunity is what? Memory cells. Which components are memory cells, which is 3D. Did you get it? Type 2 antibodies are produced, and 1 is the pathogen when it enters. 18. Which helps to keep the trachea open during breathing. Cartilage rings. Question 19. Yeast can respire aerobically and anaerobically. Aerobically in the presence of oxygen, and aerobically in the absence of oxygen. For each molecule of glucose used in yeast, how many more carbon dioxide gas are produced by aerobic compared with anaerobic? Let's remember the aerobic respiration equation. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives me what? 6CO2 plus 6H2O, right? This is for aerobic. For anaerobic, 2C2H5OH, right? Plus 2CO2 produced. Yani the glucose will be broken down to give me 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2. This one is alcohol, which is ethanol. So let's compare the carbon dioxide produced. Here carbon dioxide is 2, here carbon dioxide is 6. So how much difference? 4 more are produced. 20. In a healthy human, in which blood vessels would you find the lowest concentration of urea? This is the kidney. What's going in, what's going out, what's going to the ureter, to the bladder. What's going in is renal artery, has the highest concentration of urea. What's going out is renal vein, has the lowest concentration of urea. And ureter contains urine going to for the bladder. So which blood vessel contains the lowest, which will be the renal vein. Next, a specific eye condition can cause permanent contraction of ciliary muscles. Which row is correct for an eye with this condition compared to an eye without this condition? Which means what? Ciliary muscle, when it's contracted, this means that we are accommodating for near object. So when you accommodate for a near object, ciliary contract, CC, suspensory ligament slack. So the lens becomes fatter or thicker, CCSSLF. So which row is correct for an eye with this condition compared to an eye without this condition? If the eye is not without this condition, it will be ciliary muscle relax, suspensory ligament pulled, lens is thinner. Do you get it? So which row is correct for this condition? It will be B. Suspensory ligament is slacked, so more refracted light is there as the lens is fatter. You get it? He needs here, the eye with this condition will have what? These features. The liver and the pancreas work together to control the concentration of glucose in the blood. Take care. Also, adrenaline affects the concentration of glucose by increasing it. Which statement is correct? How does the liver and the pancreas work together to control it? The liver converts small glucose into glucagon. Wrong. Glucagon is a hormone. It should be converted to glycogen. The liver release insulin hormone. Wrong. It's released by the pancreas. The pancreas does not respond to an increased blood glucose concentration. Wrong. It always gives a response. D. The pancreas responds to a fall in the blood glucose by increasing the release of hormone glucagon to increase it up. 23. In the dark, plant shoots grow upwards and roots grow downward. What causes this response? This response is caused by gravity tropism, not phototropism. So, it's C. What is the reason why antibiotics should be only used when essential to prevent what? Antibiotic resistant bacteria which rise naturally by natural selection. That's D, to reduce the natural selection of antibiotic resistance bacteria. 25. Which row describes self-pollination? As I told you before, self-pollination, same flower, same plant, or different flower, same plant. Very important to know it. The cross pollination, different flower, different plant. Okay, so let's read it together. He needs self pollination. Pollen transferred from an anther to the stigma of a different flower on the same plant? Yes. So my answer is A or B, C or D or wrong. Pollen transferred from an anther to the stigma of a flower on a different plant of the same species, different plant. So whenever I see different plant, it's cross. So is it right? Wrong. So it's B. Pollen transferred from an anther to the stigma of the same flower? Yes. So my answer is B. 26. The list show terms used when describing sexual reproduction: male gamete, female gamete, sperm, egg, ovule, ovary, filament, fertilization, haploid. Which terms are used only when describing sexual reproduction in plant? The keyword here is plant. What do you think? Which one we use it for plant only? Is it male gamete? Male gamete is sperm. Female gamete is egg. Is it ovule? Yes, we mentioned ovule. So it's three. So one, A, B, C. The answer is D. 3 and 5, which are the flower and the ovule and the filament which supports the anther. 27. Which statement correctly describes the effect of a hormone in human menstrual cycle that lasts for 28 days? FSH causes maturation of an egg up to the 21st day. Wrong. After 14th day, FSH starts to decrease gradually. LH stimulates the release of an egg on the day 14. Yes, ovulation. What is the main hormone responsible for the development of male secondary sexual characteristic? Easy. D. 29. Which term is defined as a length of a DNA that codes for a protein? Easy. Gene. Which statement about sex chromosomes is correct? Sex chromosomes, men and women can inherit characteristics controlled by genes on the X chromosome. Yes, because men get the X chromosome from the mother, and the woman also can. Yes, and they get the Y chromosome from the father. Woman also can get the X from father or mother. 31. The graph shows how the mass of DNA changes during a mitotic cell division, wherein the graph two cells are formed. Let's remember together mitotic cell division. Starts with one cell, then DNA replication happens, then the cells starts to divide, right? So let's go for this. If it starts with one chromosome, during DNA replication, the one chromosome will be what? Will be doubled sister chromatids. Then it will give me cell division to each stage. So we can say that from point A to point C, this is DNA replication. Let's say it's from A to C, this is what's happening. Then from C to D, the cell starts to move through the mitotic cell division, which is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Then after point D, which is telophase or cytokinesis, it starts to split. So at which point, let's say that this is D, there we have two cells are formed at point D. You get it? You'll have inshallah this in details in AS. Next, a man with blood group A, genotype IAIO, has a child with a woman has blood group B and genotype IBIO. You have always to remember that IO is a recessive genotype for blood group. What is the probability of having blood group O? This means it should be recessive, pure recessive. So IA, IO crossed with IB, IO, right? First one, it will be blood group AB. Second one will be blood group A. This one will be blood group B. This one will be blood group O. So what are the chance? What is the probability of a child having group O, blood group O? What would be the chance for this? Is it 0? Is it 0.25, 0.50? It is 1. It's 0.25. B. What are the sources of genetic variation in a population? Is it meiosis? Number A. Mutation, random meeting? Yes. Is it meiosis, random mating, asexual reproduction? No. Mitosis? No. Mitosis? No. 34. The food chain shows how energy is transferred to a human, from lettuce to snails to duck to human. Where did the energy in the lettuce come from? What is the main source of energy? Sun. 34C. The processes listed affect the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, as for example, increased deforestation, increased tree planting. This will decrease carbon dioxide. This will increase carbon dioxide. Decreased fossil fuel combustion. This will decrease carbon dioxide. Increase fossil fuel combustion. This will increase carbon dioxide. Which processes will increase? Process A, 1 and 4. So my answer is B. Which organism can be source of energy for decomposers? Producers, herbivores, carnivores. Producer decomposers can go into any trophic level. Yeah, for example, if you start with producer, first consumer, second consumer, tertiary consumer, a decomposer can fit in any trophic level. 36A. 37. A coral reef contains species such as stony corals, sponges, seahorses, and whale sharks. These species interact with each other and are affected by temperature, salt concentration, and oxygen. These are environmental factors. We have here biotic factors, and these are abiotic factors. But this is 100% representing an ecosystem. Perfect. 38. What can cause an increase in size of a rapid population? What can cause an increase in the size? An increase in disease? No, it will kill it. Increase in available food? Rabbit? Yes. Increase in population in the habitat of the rabbit when the pollution, increase, it will kill the rabbit. Increase in predation? Also wrong. So 38B. 39. How does eutrophication lead to the death of fish? Number A. A sudden increase in the number of bacteria increase the spread of the diseases. So this is wrong. We don't talk about diseases in eutrophication. We talk about depletion of oxygen, thus causing death of organisms. Alga respire instead of photosynthesize? No. Bacteria who respires to act as a decomposer. C. Decomposer bacteria lowered oxygen concentration in the water? Yes. 40. The diagram shows a bacterial cell. Which cell structure makes bacteria useful in genetic modification? Plasmid, which is B. What is A? What is D? What is C? A referring to cell wall, D genetic material, and C ribosome. DNA and C is ribosome. Thank you. That's all for today. Salam.